holidays, getting you the help you need whenever you need it. That's the strong arm.
Proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Your safety comes first with the First Alert Radar Network. First just got faster. From the station that's on your side, News 12, First at 5, continues.
The results are in for Aiken's mayoral race, but since incumbent Mayor Rick Osmond got 42.61% just shy of the 50% mark, he and Republican challenger Teddy Milner now head to a runoff. It came down to less than 500 votes between the two candidates, the winner of which will run uncontested in November.
And Aiken is fired up about this election. Our Alyssa Lyons is live in our newsroom. And Alyssa, Aiken says that it's the largest turnout in years for a mayoral race.
Yeah, that record number of voters turned out for Aiken's first primary in over a decade. The last primary for a mayor's race was in 2011. That's when Mayor Fred Kavanaugh ran against Jet Beckham. According to Aiken's Republican Party, 3,652 voters casted their vote in the municipal election. Aiken has not held a primary for mayor since 2011. The party says 1,800 voters turned out for that vote more than a decade ago. This year was double that. It was not shocking to the party to find out that there would be a runoff. They actually thought the race would be a little tighter.
A lot of people in Aiken were dissatisfied with things that happened earlier this year, late last year with the Project Pascalis, and they were trying to get some kind of resolution for that, or satisfaction maybe is a better word for that. But I just think there's just generally a lot of dissatisfaction going on right now.
Milner and Mayor Osmond will face off on August 22nd. You can vote early August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Today I spoke with the two challengers. Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. I'll have their reaction to that runoff.
It's great to see so many people getting out to some of these local elections in record numbers, too. Thanks for keeping us updated with that, Alyssa.
Well, weather-wise today, we have chances for you by daybreak tomorrow coming up in that full forecast.
All right, thanks, Raleigh. No bond will be granted for the Grovetown father whose 4-year-old daughter shot and killed herself with her dad's gun. Davian Daniels is facing several charges, including murder and possession of a firearm by a felon. His daughter, Phoenix, passed away at AU after fighting for her life for about a month. Police said the gun had been converted to fully automatic, and Daniels had placed it on the floor near his daughter at their apartment on Sterlington Drive.
Hundreds of students at Augusta University now moving into their dorms days after school start. That's because of flooding damage at Oak Hall. The campus has been dealing with that for months, actually. The university says parents and students have been made aware, but frustrations are still very high. Some 400 students will be stuck in alternative housing for the entire semester. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, our Taylor Martin hears from students who are dealing with this change in plans.
A softball tournament coming to Augusta next month, putting the pressure on developers to finish the Diamond Lakes Regional Park. Diamond Lakes, specifically the bathrooms there, has faced issues for years. The city of Augusta pledging more than $1 million towards the bathrooms since 2018 to get them fixed. But now the city says that a military softball tournament will compete at the park in late September, meaning that renovations to the bathrooms should be done before then.
It's easy to think we were all in the clear, but right now, live at 5, we are now seeing a new COVID spike in Georgia and really all across the Southeast.
Yeah, and doctors say that their phones are ringing off the hook. Our State House reporter Abby Kasouris has the details.
Dr. Amy Eubanks is getting ready to see another patient.
Fever, achiness, sore throat, congestion.
Symptoms consistent with COVID.
We always see a kick up in viral illnesses when the kids go back to school because of a pool for that to spread.
COVID cases are on the rise here in Georgia and quickly. In the last week, more than 3,800 people tested positive and more than 300 were hospitalized because of COVID-19. The CDC says they've seen spikes during the summer every year for the past 3 years. The dominant strain is a variant of the Omicron strain. A spokesperson for the CDC says at this time, there is no evidence indicating EG3 is able to spread more easily, and currently available treatments and vaccines are expected to continue to be effective against this variant. Help is on the way in the form of a new vaccine. The FDA is urging both Pfizer and Moderna to create a new vaccine. aimed at boosting immunity against the original strain and this new one.
This rapid increase, I think, has taken people a little bit by surprise.
The CDC says hospitalizations are still nowhere near where they were last year. They say vaccination is still the best strategy for avoiding the hospital.
And if you're concerned, if you're sick, even if you haven't tested, it's the better part of valor to protect the people around you to wear a mask until you know what you have.
In Bremen, I'm Abby Kasouris.
All right, thanks, Abby. Weeks after their homes were flooded by rain, victims tell us they feel like they've been given up on. Just ahead, one victim says the city of Augusta left him high and dry. Riley?
And we do have the chance for a few storms early tomorrow morning, and we are going to keep the chance for storms most days over the next few. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're getting an update on what housing will look like for students at Augusta University who were supposed to stay here at Oak Hall.
Time and a chance for a few very isolated afternoon storms.
All right, thanks, Riley. For more than a month, flooding issues have plagued one neighborhood. Stormwater flowing into homes, forcing people out of their homes. We've been on your side following the developments, but this evening, victims affected by this flooding say the city isn't helping. We're talking about homes around Emerson Drive in South Augusta. In June, as many as 30 homes were flooded following heavy rains.
Our Audrey Dickerber spoke with one victim who says he feels like the city has just given up on him.
Flooding impacted numerous homes in June, and people were promised help but are still waiting months later. Emerson Drive is one of those streets. Help. That's all people in South Augusta want.
There has been moments where you get calls from the city. They say, hey, we'll send somebody out to help survey, assess the damage, and you're still getting up there.
They say the flood in June caused too much damage to fix on their own.
We've put probably $350 worth of disposal already going to the city dumps and stuff. They didn't address any of that. We got a estimate for the damages under the house, and we're looking at $38,400 for that. The AC estimate was another $8,000 on top of that. So just those two items was around $46,000. And that doesn't address the interior walls, the floors on the inside, doesn't address the foundation damage that's causing the roof on the interior to crack, any of that.
Now, every time it rains,
We're actually at the grocery store, and just instinctively my wife got worried, and the first thing she did was call my son, hey, how bad is the yard flooded? Are you okay? Do we need to come home and get you? At the point we can't even go shopping because my wife is worried that my sons are going to flood out.
phone calls after phone calls.
When you call the number, it goes to a call receive center where they take your name and number, say someone's going to contact you, and then we're not hearing back.
But that doesn't stop them from trying.
Still calling and leaving my name with the call center. I haven't received a call back, haven't received an email back.
Or having to take drastic measures.
And I'm considering selling my own house personally because at this point, you know, if my community doesn't care about me, why should I stay in it?
I reached out to the city and their commissioner about this issue, and I'm still waiting on a response. In South Augusta, Audrey Dickerber, on your side.
Some people Audrey spoke with say they want to attend future commission meetings to lobby for help.
Well, if you're loading up to send a kid off to college, you've thought of their school supplies, but what about back-to-school items for mom and dad? Yeah, I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up some tech gadgets to give mom and dad some peace of mind. Free dealer.
Uneven sidewalks, pool decks, or patios? Get a faster, affordable alternative to replacement today. Call Canty Foundation Specialist for your free estimate.
Canty can fix it.
Students are gearing up to start college this fall, and they're packing everything they might need while away from home. And while you might be focused on getting everything packed for your student, parents, you may need some supplies as well.
Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker has some tech gadgets for us to help give parents some peace of mind.
As a dad, I know one of the things you worry about when the kids go off to school is their vehicle. What if a light comes on? What if it makes a noise? Are they keeping it maintained? Well, these Wrdw readers are very inexpensive now, and it lets mom and dad keep an eye on the vehicle even hundreds of miles away. These scanners plug into the Wrdw port, usually under the driver's side dash. If a check engine light comes on, the app can tell you what's wrong, and if it's nothing, can actually clear the error light. Back at home, parents can monitor what's going on with the car, get updates, and see when it's time for an oil change. You don't want to call saying they've lost their backpack or something else important. Apple AirTags track anything they're connected to on iPhones. They'll see where it is on a map, and you can too to help them find it. An alternative for Android users is a tile tracker to fit on keys, wallets, and anything else. You probably wouldn't think to send them off with a flashlight, but they're small enough to fit in a backpack, purse, or even a pants pocket. The Anchor Boulder flashlights are rechargeable, great for emergencies and late-night walks across campus. And if they've left home for the first time, you might just miss seeing what they're up to. These digital picture frames are great for sharing photos. Using the app, they can send home pictures they take with their phone, and they're immediately displayed in your frame. This is the first time you're sending someone off to school. It's a big adjustment. Mom and Dad, these tech gadgets will give you some peace of mind. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Lawmakers in Georgia pushing for changes to how your child interacts with social media. Under a new plan, anyone younger than 18 would need explicit permission from a parent to create a social media account. And it's not just Georgia leaning in this direction. Louisiana, Texas, and Ohio lawmakers have introduced similar legislation. Georgia Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones wants to see this become law next year.
If we can't, as legislators, as parents, if we can't protect the ones we love the most and the future of our society, then we're in the wrong business as public servants.
The U.S. Surgeon General recently warned social media among young people is driving a youth mental health crisis. Social media companies already ban users younger than 13 from signing up on their platform, but children have been shown to easily evade these bans.
Soon, Georgia Tech Stadium will have a new name. The college just announced a multi-decade partnership with Hyundai Motor Company as part of the manufacturer's investment in the state of Georgia. The Bobby Dodd Stadium is now the Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Now, Hyundai is paying around $55 million over the next 20 years for naming rights to the field.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
As the countdown to kickoff continues, we are just 9 days away from the start of high school football season. And one team that turned some heads last year was the Laney Wildcats.
News 12 Sports Director Dan Boot joins us now to tell us why Laney could be in a position to pick up right where they left off last season. Dan.
Laney put on a show for their fans last season, and in addition to their physical defense, their offense gave opposing coaches and players nightmares because of their ability to make explosive plays when the lights shined the brightest. The Wildcats' high-powered offense led them to 8 wins and a playoff berth in 2022, and luckily for Laney, the majority of their offense is back for another run this year. The Wildcats did lose a couple of big guys along the offensive line, but when it comes to lighting up the scoreboard every Friday night, the players I spoke with said they think they're still trusting the process.
We just got to get back, learning the plays again, executing the plays. But right now we kind of confident because most of us know what we're doing.
They see that we done got smaller, so they probably don't think we're not gonna be as physical. But the guys that we got now, they smaller, physical, and they faster. So I feel like it really not gonna be a difference from how we performed from last year.
This Laney offense should be a lot of fun to watch again this year, especially with All-State wide receiver Carl Holmes heading into his senior season. We'll see the Wildcats in action on Friday night for a scrimmage at home against Southwest Macon before kicking off the season on the road against Strom Thurmond. We'll hear from head coach of Laney, Ronnie Baker, tonight at 11.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Looking ahead to the weekend forecast. Temperatures getting a little bit hotter, 97 both afternoons this weekend, but storm chances look to be very isolated. Now look at that forecast for you just after the break.
I'm Chip Lewis with Augusta Medicare Specialist. Surprisingly, there is no Medicare orientation. Let us guide you through the entire process. For a commitment-free consultation, please give us a call or visit our website. Don't wait till you're 65 to call. Or u64.com.
I'm TK Granite, 383 Tower Drive in Augusta.
Hey, Brett, I think we need a jingle.
What do you have in mind?
I don't know yet.
Well, if you're thinking something, come knock on my door.
Come and knock on my door. If you're 64.
Well, take a look at this. 16-year-old Maya Peterson from California flipping over 12 people. 12 people from a quarter pipe while on roller skates. Peterson earned herself a Guinness World Record.
Whoa, she
Wow.
said she's been roller skating since she was 11 years old, has been attempting tricks since she was 13. When she started clearing 10 people with ease, Peterson says she was encouraged to go for the record. The young skater says it's a dream come true to see her name in the record book. I just feel bad for the very last person in line.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, I mean, it is so close.
How do you get this idea to go and be like, hey, let me jump over 10 people and then 12 people? I would die if I did.
I mean, if you're like the first person, it's cool, but if you're like person number 12, person number 11.
If I'm 11 and 12 here,
Right.
I'm terrified.
Right.
And how many tries do you get?
Right.
Yeah, like how
Are
do
we
you
just
mess
seeing
up
the
and go,
one
let's
and
go
done?
again, let's
Yeah.
go again?
Is this just like a one and done?
It's
No
gotta
way.
be. I mean,
No
it's
way.
gotta be.
No, there's no way you just did that.
Because you can't let, well, I mean, she probably like,
It's a hobby,
she
apparently.
measured it. I mean, she did not like attempt this with live
Don't
people
put common
there.
sense into this. And don't put common sense into this.
Pretty impressive though. It starts out like she's doing a front flip, but then she lands backwards. Like a
And
little,
I love that she's like, I've
Back
been doing this since I'm 11. So like, she really hasn't even been doing it that long.
yeah, that's wild.
Pretty impressive.
Pretty cool. All right,
You go, girl.
There you go, go girl, right there for sure. Hey, we got temperatures at least feeling below 100 this afternoon. Still pretty hot and toasty for most spots. Heat index up to around the mid 90s across most locations, but we are seeing some relief. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said though over the next couple of days. Heat index back over 100, potentially up to around 105, 106, all the way through the weekend, early next week. So if you can, try to take advantage of the nice afternoon we do have. We're not expecting any storms the rest of today, but as we head into late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we're going to be keeping an eye on this complex of storms. So this is what's going to be showing up most likely between 8 and 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and there is going to be a low severe weather risk for it. Looks like the highest severe weather threat would be mainly north of I-20. We're going to keep the chance for on and off storms on Friday and then cranking up the heat, but turning down the storm chances this weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have much more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.